IRS releases tax changes for 2025. Good information here from the boys at the IRS. All right, so let's check it out here. So we got the IRS announced today annual inflation adjustments for tax year 2025. Standard deductions. We talked about this the other day. There we go. Make that over there. There we go. Nope. Hang tight, amigos. Got to make that. Okay. So right here, marginal tax, standard deduction, excuse me. The standard deduction rises to $15,000 if you're single or $30,000 if you're married. All right, and that's before we take if you're over the age of 65. We'll get in that here in just a second. So remember, here's our marginal rates. We got to add 15,000 and 30,000 to these marginal rates to get AGI. I cannot stress this enough. How many people get this wrong? They say, if I have married filing jointly, $96,950. If I'm above that, I'm in a 22% tax bracket. No, it's $30,000 plus $96,950. All right, so we take our trusty calculator. That should give us 126. It's weird. I said that on my video the other day, and someone tried to correct me. They're like, Josh, it's 135. I said, I don't think so. But anyway, so there we go. So marginal tax rates, all right, this is your taxable income. Remember to add your standard deduction. So if you have adjusted gross income, which is how you factor taxes, you say my adjusted gross income is $126,950. All right. Then we take away our standard deduction to get our taxable income. So the first $30,000 is not taxed. It's just the next amount underneath that. I hope that makes sense. It's critically important to understand. I don't know why they don't say 126, but they don't. Anyway. So if you're single, all right, your marginal tax, your AGI is 48,000 plus 15. That's $63,475. I did that in my head. Wow, Josh, you're so smart. Yeah, I am smart and sexy. Look at my hair; it's all over the place. I haven't brushed my pearly yellows yet. All right, look at your old buddy Josh, crushing in his t-shirt. No pearly yellows being brushed yet. Hair all over the place. All right, so just keep that in mind. If we're single, we got $63,475 before we go into the 22% tax bracket. If we're married filing jointly, we got $126,000, whatever it was, before we go into the 22% tax bracket. Just remember that. It's important. All right, let's keep going here. I thought this was pretty interesting right here. Let's see. Annual inclusion now up to $19,000. Annual exclusion for gifts up to $19,000. All right, so a lot of people are still using like $14,000, $15,000 in their annual exclusion. That's $19,000. That's per Social Security, per taxpayer. So you could get, let's say you're married. All right, you got Bob and Jane. How dare you say they're Bob and Jane? Why not Steve and Adam and Steve? So let's just say you're Bob and Jane or Adam and Steve. I don't care, whatever. And you say, Josh, I love you. You're the best. There's 19,000 schmackaroonies. Well, Steve could give me also 19,000 schmackaroonies. I'd happy to take it off your chest, man. I mean, you don't want to give it to Uncle Joe, do you? Give it to me. 38,000 schmackaroonies. None of it is subject to any gift tax or a gift tax return. Remember, you can still give me $1 million right now if you want. You should. And none of that is subject to gift tax. So there will be a gift tax return that you would have to file. Not me, but you would have to file. But none of it is subject to gift tax. Unless you've been giving over, I can't remember what the amount is. Maybe it'll show us what the total gift tax exemption is, lifetime exclusion. All right, so yeah, we still got no personal exemptions. All right, so a lot of people say, what's my personal exemption? We won't have that. We will have that back next year, assuming the Trump tax bill goes away. No limits on itemized deductions. That stays the same. Itemized deductions as well. So anyway, I guess they didn't change the estate tax. Must have, right? Did they change the estate tax total? Let's see. I saw estate tax credits. Yeah, right here. Estate tax credits, $13,990,000. So, and again, you double that. So basically, it was that $28 million of estate tax credits. That seems pretty reasonable to me. If your estate is over $28 million, you'll have an estate tax to pay. And that's specific to the feds. If you live in Massachusetts or some other blue state, you might have a state tax to pay. What's your total for annual or lifetime exclusions? I don't think they have it. I don't see it here. So, but it's so high, so I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, there you go. That's the rules about the change in rules that the IRS came out with. So just remember, 126 married filing jointly, And what I say, 63 single taxpayers, the amount of money you get before you go in the 22% tax bracket. Just keep that in mind. All right, God bless. Love your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe and tickle the like button. Tickle, tickle, tickle.